Hi, my name is Ashley, and we are the Sportiest governors, and we're doing the FIFA World Cup. So, our introduction. So, the overview of the organization. So, the FIFA World Cup is the largest event in global sports, bringing together 32 to 48 national teams, billions of viewers, and massive economic, political, and cultural impacts. Why is it significant in global sports? So, the World Cup shapes global sports development, influences international relations, and drives major investments in infrastructure, tourism, and media. The World Cup is not just a tournament, it is a global governance system that affects athletes, nations, sponsors, and fans worldwide. This was mainly from the institutional aspects of FIFA governance and its impact on the international relations. So the key governing bodies. So FIFA Federation Internationale de Football Association, the top governing body that owns the World Cup, sets rules and oversees bidding, hosting, and competing regulations. The FIFA Council, the main decision-making body responsible for selecting host nations, approving policies, and overseeing strategic direction. And then we have the LOC, the Local Organization Committee, created by the host country to manage operations, stadiums, volunteers, transportation, and safety. And now we have the Confederation. So the UEFA, the CONCACAF, and the CAF, the CAF, regional bodies that help coordinate qualification tournaments and ensure compliance with FIFA rules. So, how are decisions made? So, the host selection occurs through a vote by the FIFA Congress, informed by technical reports and political considerations. Committees such as the competition committees and ethics committees propose rules, which the FIFA Council approves. The operational decisions are shared between FIFA and the LOC, but FIFA maintains ultimate control over commercial and disciplinary matters. Disputes such as eligibility issues or ethical violations are handled through FIFA's judicial bodies, and if it gets bigger, it goes to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. So, for connecting the concepts to the chapters from chapter 9, major games required multi layered governance structures and they influence national and global sports systems. So, from the textbook itself, major games are national or international events run as single sport or multi sport championships. From chapter 10, FIFA's model mirrors Olympic since governance and policymaking through councils and committees parallels Olympic sport governance. From the textbook, it says that the responsibility for organizing an Olympic Games falls upon the organizing committee for the Olympic Games, similar to what FIFA has. And then for chapter 11, the shared governance between international bodies and local organizers is similar to the International Paralympic Committee, so the IPC, event delivery. So this pertains to athlete eligibility, classification systems, which parallel to FIFA's eligibility and disciplinary processes. For example, when Russia invaded Ukraine, there was an issue in banning of both countries from the textbook, of both countries from major sporting events, including the FIFA World Cup and numerous world championships, which is what FIFA did, and it's also what the Olympics did. So this shows how all major events tend to follow each other when it comes to major things, politics or not.
In the FIFA World Cup. We've gone over them and we've decided that with the global events, with ethical, political, and economic challenges, there needs to be a rebalancing of the governance along with profits and fairness within the games and the organization. Host selection is often influenced by politics, and decisions impact these athletes, nations, and audiences all over the world. The key issues we're going to focus on are politics and international relations, along with commercialization and sponsorship. So for politics and international relations, the issue we've decided to go over was the host selections have been heavily influenced by political relations and global power dynamics. The governments have often used the World Cup for national branding and soft power. The examples we used were for Qatar especially. Political conflicts can affect participation along with fan perception and legitimacy. In our analysis, the global sport operates with multi-level governance systems where decisions are shaped by international actors, not just sport organizations. So we applied that to FIFA, and that's what we think applies to this situation from what we've learned in class. The potential challenges would probably be the tension between global unity and political realities. You can think about this stuff, but it's kind of hard to execute it. And the possible criticism over human rights and corruption and a lack of transparency. That challenge comes from within what we feel like they're doing. Issue number 2, the commercialization and sponsorship problems. FIFA generates a bunch of money through media rights, sponsorships, and advertising, which gives them a lot of power, and these companies a lot of power. They need that sponsorship money to do what they want. Um, and a lot of that comes with huge influence in the scheduling of events, selection of where the tournaments can take place, and even the expansion of the tournament to make it last longer and make these companies opportunities to make more money. The analysis we've done is the World Cup functions both as a sport governance system and a global business model, which is important to understand because the political decisions stir up trade offs between the revenue and ethical responsibilities for the audience. So at the same time, they're making a lot of this money. It's maybe not ethically good, but they need the money to operate at the level that they do to fund all of this, to have the best stadiums, to have the best security, things like that. It just gets to a point where we think that they could be taking advantage of that and companies could be taking advantage of that. And the real world challenge would be identifying the increased gap between wealthy football nations like soccer and developing nations. It's really hard to compete at the highest level if these other teams can generate a lot more money, like better facilities, um, better youth programs. So, kind of understanding that is important to get a scope of what's really going on. And the accessibility for normal fans is pretty much impossible due to the price increases for this World Cup, especially, and probably more in the future. I think the price now for tickets is at least $1,000, no matter where you're sitting. So that's a lot of money for anyone. So people with a lot of money are traveling all over, which could be good for economies and stuff, but it might not be good ethically for true football fans that want to watch their teams.
And now on to our critical analysis of the situation. Uh, FIFA is a flawed system, a flawed governor of global soccer. As we've seen, they're not above corruption. Sports is not something that should be able to be bought. It should not be able to be a commodity to buy goodwill. And it seems that FIFA is just not able to really see that. Soccer is the world's most popular sport, and that means that it is an unparalleled opportunity to bring people together. And their greed, their lack of humanity casts a just a dark cloud on the entire event. So how do we address this? How do we move from here? I think the FIFA's biggest issue is their lack of accountability because they are the end all be all say all in all these things. They have the ability to control their own destiny. They monitor everything on the inside. But I think establishing multiple independent commissions, one to specifically monitor corruption and hold them accountable in that way. So that way we're not able to just do things like buy, oh, hey, we're going to have the World Cup in a country that's completely unsuitable for sporting and is built off the backs of slave labor and things like that. And we're going to have the World Cup in a country that is, actively imprisoning and murdering, people it doesn't like, you know. And I think forming an independent group to present actual good host options to the broader Congress who makes this decision, and not just allowing them to be like, oh, hey, we're going to go to North Korea next because they paid us a lot of money. I think that here's three options, they have all been able to show that they can meet these levels. They are, countries that are in good standing on a humanitarian level, things like that. Just simplifying the option a little bit more and making sure that there is more power in the hands of independent commissions. In conclusion, FIFA has the potential to really be a massive, strong pillar of the international community, to really be, we're going to bring everyone together, kind of like the Olympics. I think the Olympics is a much better, much more well-run organization, much less corrupt. They still have their problems, but they have much more of a backbone in a lot of ways. And that's like I say here, they have strong institutions, just no backbone to really uphold any kind of morals or anything like that. Sport governance should really be about bringing us together in bringing out the best of what sports can be for people, right? How do we bring out friendly competitiveness? How do we create great competition? How do we allow people to really be themselves in this sport and to perform in a real way? And you're not able to do that in within FIFA's just massive swirl of corruption and ridiculousness. So here's our references. Thank you so much.